In the 21st century, the world has too many people, and there is no way to fix it. To survive, humanity makes a bold plan: move to Mars. But Mars cannot support human life yet. Before anyone can live there, the planet must be terraformed. So scientists begin the long process by sending moss and other simple life forms to the surface, including cockroaches. Years pass. By the year 2599, two criminals named Komachi and Nanao are sprinting through the streets of Tokyo. The police are right behind them. They twist and turn through alleys, trying to lose the chase, but it is no use. The cops close in and surround them. Just as they are trapped, a flying car drops down in front of them. Out steps Dr. Honda. He is busy watching a recording of his own presentation, one that explains why the cockroaches on Mars must be wiped out before people can live there. His assistant leans in and points out something useful. Komachi and Nanao are wanted on suspicion of second-degree murder. That makes them perfect candidates for the mission. Honda walks up to the pair and makes them an offer. Go to Mars, clean out every last cockroach, and in return, they will be paid well and their crimes will disappear. But there is a catch. Before they leave Earth, they must undergo a dangerous surgery. Komachi does not trust Honda and refuses right away. Nanao, on the other hand, signs up without hesitation. Komachi cannot let her go alone, so he agrees to join the mission just to stay by her side. 2 years later, Nanao and Komachi are aboard a spaceship called Bugs 2, flying toward Mars with the rest of the crew. Jin, always eager to test his skills, challenges Komachi to a sparring match. The fight ends in a tie, but Jin brushes it off, claiming he went easy because Komachi is just an amateur. Jin then turns his attention to Nanao and tries to flirt with her. She shuts him down, saying that Komachi already set her free. Ichiro overhears and laughs, joking that what Komachi did barely counts as freedom. Elsewhere on the ship, Lee munches on bugs while Tsuka creeps toward a sleeping Maria. He startles her awake by sucking on her hand, and a frightened Maria rushes off to find comfort with her friend Yuko. As the two women walk past, Torimaru and Yoshikane openly stare at their bodies. Asuka notices and calls the two men out for it. Watching all of this, Nanao starts piecing together the truth about her crewmates. Torimaru and Yoshikane are Yakuza. Asuka is a corrupt cop. Tsuka is a serial killer. Maria is an illegal immigrant. Oso forces teenagers into illegal work. Ichiro is a hacker, and Lee is a terrorist. Given how she and Komachi were recruited, she starts to wonder if Honda only picks criminals for this mission. Jin shrugs it off, saying he is just a kickboxer, nothing more. He figures the real reason they were all chosen is that every one of them desperately needs money. Captain Dojima and Lieutenant Mina order the crew to their positions. The ship is about to land. The landing goes off without a hitch. When the crew looks outside, they are stunned. Mars is no longer red. Thanks to years of terraforming, it now looks almost like Earth. Mina launches a device loaded with a powerful chemical meant to kill the cockroaches. Dojima then splits everyone into teams to scout the area and confirm that the extermination is actually working. When Asuka is paired with Yoshikane, she flatly refuses to work alongside a Yakuza and asks to team up with Ichiro instead. Yoshikane is offended, but Dojima allows the swap just to avoid a fight. Once the teams head out, Dojima sends out a drone. It discovers Bugs 1, a probe Japan secretly sent to Mars 10 years earlier. The captain contacts Honda to show him the probe and report that everything is going smoothly. Honda is thrilled. If the mission succeeds, he will gain the kind of technology that could let him control the entire world. Out on the surface, the teams keep searching. Jin finds it strange that they have not come across a single dead cockroach yet. As Jin and Maria move past a cluster of rocks, they freeze in shock. 3 strange creatures, each holding a club, are standing nearby. The two of them duck out of sight, completely confused, since no one warned them about the possibility of Martians. Not far away, Komachi and Nanao stumble onto one of these creatures too. Komachi tries to talk to it, but without warning, the creature lunges at Nanao and snaps her neck. It drops her body and races away at terrifying speed. Jin arrives moments later and breaks more bad news to Komachi. The same creatures have also killed Asuka. The entire crew races back to the ship. They lay Nanao's body in the medical bay, then turn on Dojima, demanding answers because it is clear he knew the truth from the very beginning. Dojima finally explains everything. 500 years ago, humanity sent cockroaches to Mars. Exposed to radiation and brutal conditions for centuries, the bugs evolved at an incredible rate. The creatures the crew encountered are those very cockroaches, now far stronger than any human. The government sent this crew to terraform Mars by wiping them out. The crew is furious at being lied to. At that moment, Honda appears as a hologram. He reminds them that they sold themselves for money and that the surgery they went through was never just about letting them breathe on Mars. It planted bug DNA inside their bodies, giving them superpowers strong enough to complete the mission. He orders them to fight the cockroaches, then vanishes. Dojima explains how the powers work. Injecting the bug cell activator will trigger a mutation in their bodies, but it only lasts a few minutes before they return to normal, as long as they don't use it too much. Overusing it will kill them. Dojima sends all the details straight to the crew's suits, which link directly to their minds. Tsuka grins, treating the whole thing like a game. The rest of the crew is far less thrilled. Mina demands to know why Dojima kept this from them, and he admits he was under orders to keep it confidential. Some crew members say they want to go straight back to Earth, but right then, the ship's computer warns that the cockroaches are closing in. Lee steps up to volunteer, telling the others that once this fight is over, they can return home and use their new powers to take revenge on the government. Wally heads out first, and the others learn that Lee fought in the Middle East and earned the nickname the Immortal God. After surviving that, a few cockroaches should be nothing to him. Once outside, Lee injects himself with the activator and gains the powers of a bombardier beetle, a bug that mixes chemicals inside its body to fire out a tiny jet that works like a flamethrower. His body mutates into a mix of human and beetle, and he charges into a roach, trading hits at the same speed and strength as the creature. When the roach refuses to go down, Lee unleashes his new power and blasts it with powerful flames, badly burning it. For a moment, it looks like he has won, but the roach recovers and kills Lee before he can react. At the very same time, another cockroach leaps onto the spaceship and starts slamming its head against the ultra-tough glass to break in. It succeeds, gets inside, and kills 2 crew members almost instantly. Dojima takes his own injection and receives the genes of the Paraponera ant, a bullet ant from South America that can lift 100 times its own body weight and delivers a sting so painful it feels like a gunshot. With this new strength, Dojima easily slams the cockroach into the floor and kills it. Unfortunately, the ship's computer detects an entire horde of cockroaches heading their way. Oso wonders out loud why the roaches are so determined to kill them. Maria has an answer. The roaches want to kill them because humans started it first. She remembers the very first time she saw a roach. She killed it for no real reason at all, just because. Most of the crew wants to abandon the mission and go back to Earth, but Mina discovers the control panel is dead, and the backup system is not working either. Dojima quickly puts together a plan. A small team will travel to Bugs 1 and bring back the parts needed to repair Bugs 2, while he stays behind to fight off the roaches. He will smear himself with the pheromones of the dead creature to lure every other roach toward him, clearing a safe path for the team. Some of the men offer to stay and help the captain, but Ichiro tells them to leave, since he will be the one staying behind instead. As roaches start climbing up the outside of the ship, the team rushes to leave. Komachi stops first to see Nanao one last time, promising he will come back for her. Just before he goes, he notices strange threads coming out of her mouth. The team climbs into the rover. Since it has to drive straight through a horde of roaches, Tsuka volunteers to fight them off. He takes his injection and receives the DNA of the rove beetle, a bug that can fire blasts of gas at an enemy and then escape at incredible speed. When Mina opens the door, dozens of roaches are waiting outside, so Tsuka climbs onto the roof of the vehicle and sprays gas at them, clearing a path so the rover can escape safely. Back on the ship, Ichiro takes his injection and transforms, just as the roaches finally break through. While Dojima fights them off, Ichiro runs to hide instead. More and more roaches keep pouring in, and as Dojima keeps fighting, his mind drifts back to the day Honda first recruited him. Back then, Dojima had nearly destroyed his own career by punching a superior officer, but Honda offered to make him a captain again in exchange for bringing back an egg from Mars. Eventually, there are simply too many roaches to fight off, so Ichiro seals the entire ship shut, crushing a few roaches in the closing door. He then vents all the oxygen out of the ship, suffocating every roach trapped inside. A handful keep fighting to the end, and Dojima never stops battling them, but eventually the lack of air knocks both him and Ichiro unconscious as well. Meanwhile, inside the rover, Jin asks Komachi about his relationship with Nanao, and Komachi's mind drifts back to the day they were both recruited. After Nanao lost her mother, her stepfather began abusing her and forced her to sell herself for money. One evening, Komachi found the man hitting her and stepped in to save her, easily disarming him and landing 2 solid punches. The man did not care, since he still had legal control over her. But while he was distracted, Nanao grabbed the knife he had dropped and stabbed him herself. Wanting to protect her, Komachi quickly took the knife from her hands and stabbed the man several more times, making it look like he was the one who had done it. Back in the present, Komachi asks Jin why he decided to come to Mars. Jin explains he has nothing left to lose, since his only friend died of an illness. Right then, the team inside the rover spots something massive rushing toward them, almost like a giant tsunami. It turns out to be a colossal wave of cockroaches. Mina floors it and pushes the rover straight through the wave, while Tsuka keeps firing gas, smashing roaches against the windows. The rover makes it through safely, and the team celebrates, but their relief does not last. A second, even bigger wave is closing in. Since Tsuka cannot hold this one off alone, Maria and Oso take their injections to transform as well. Oso gains the powers of the hard-shell weevil from Okinawa, a bug with a shell so tough that not even an elephant could crush it. Maria becomes a rainbow stag beetle, gifted with incredible camouflage that fools any enemy. Once mutated, both women join Tsuka up on the roof, acting as a shield for him. Their combined effort helps the rover punch through the wave, but right after crossing it, the vehicle flips over and crashes, knocking out everyone inside and throwing Tsuka, Maria, and Oso out onto the ground. Suddenly, the rover switches to autopilot on its own and drives away, leaving the three of them behind. The roaches close in and within seconds, kill all three without mercy. Moments later, the rest of the team wakes up to find they have reached Bugs 1, unaware that a drone is quietly watching them from nearby. Toramaru and Yoshikane stay outside to guard the entrance, while the others head inside to investigate. When Mina tries to run a diagnostic check, the team is shocked to discover that the ship's computer has been secretly sending data to someone back on Earth. At that exact moment, they hear gunshots outside and rush out, only to find that Yoshikane and Toramaru have already been killed. It turns out Yoshikane carried the powers of a diving beetle, and Toramaru those of a mole cricket, though neither of them ever got the chance to put those abilities to use searching underwater or underground. Suddenly, a group of roaches comes out of hiding, revealing that they know exactly how to use the weapons they took from Bugs 1. Back with the main group, Komachi decides they have no choice but to fight. He takes an injection and mutates into the Asian giant hornet, a bug from Japan responsible for more accidental human deaths each year than almost any other insect. It attacks without warning, and unlike a bee, it can sting again and again. With this power, Komachi punches clean holes through the roaches' bodies, killing them without even breaking a sweat. Jin decides to help and takes the injection that turns him into a migratory locust, a bug with the strongest legs in the insect world, capable of jumping the equivalent of 90 stories high. He starts taking down roaches with perfectly placed kicks. Mina transforms into a giant Asian mantis, her new sickle-shaped legs slicing through anything in her path. Working together, the three of them wipe out every roach in sight, but as the dust settles, they are stunned to spot a pyramid standing nearby. Meanwhile, one roach has been watching the trio from a distance. It suddenly reveals that it can speak, and that it is carrying a phone. It calls Honda, and reports that everything is going according to plan. Honda warns it to stay far away from Komachi if he transforms, since his bug form is especially vicious. After hanging up, the cockroach slips inside the ship and turns the oxygen back on. It then points a gun at Dojima, addressing him as Captain. When a confused Dojima asks what is going on, the creature's body splits open to reveal a mutated Asuka hiding inside. She has become an emerald cockroach wasp, a bug whose sting can take control of a roach's mind. Earlier, right when she was about to be killed, she had used this very power to turn the roaches against each other. It turns out both Asuka and Ichiro have secretly been working for Honda the entire time. Asuka kills Dojima on the spot, then splashes water onto Ichiro. His powers come from the sleeping chironomid, a bug from Central Africa that effectively never dies, since it can slip into a state of total stasis when in danger, and only needs a bit of water to wake back up. Once Ichiro is awake, he and Asuka go to check on the egg Honda sent them to retrieve, a second-generation roach, while Ichiro works on getting the ship running again. Outside, Nanao's body keeps releasing more and more of that strange white string. Komachi and the others see Bugs 2 power back on, right before a drone reveals itself nearby. It is being controlled by Honda himself. He thanks the trio for all the battle data he has gathered from them, then casually reveals that Ichiro was the one who sabotaged the ship in the first place, and informs them that Dojima is dead. Honda goes on to explain the truth. The pod from Bugs 1 really did make it back to Earth years ago, carrying a roach head with it. He used that to convince the government to let him turn the roaches into super soldiers, and he got permission to experiment on criminals because ordinary astronauts still had morals standing in the way. The real goal of the whole mission was never to wipe out the roaches, it was always to recover the egg. As for the pyramid they saw, Honda explains it through genetic memory. The cockroaches are actually aliens who once used humanity itself, before later moving on to Mars, all guided by instincts buried deep in their genes. At that moment, Ichiro gets ready to leave, and his mind drifts back to why he ever agreed to this mission. He came from a poor family with many siblings and a sick mother. He had been working on valuable research that he hoped to sell once his professor gave him a strong recommendation, a plan that would have made him rich. Instead, the professor framed him for attacking a co-worker, and Ichiro was expelled in disgrace. Asuka, on the other hand, had joined the project purely for the power it promised. Suddenly, the egg starts hatching early, and 2 cockroaches are born. Asuka tries to use her power to take control of them, but it fails completely, since this second generation is even more evolved than the last. As Bugs 2 lifts off, the newborn creatures kill Asuka with ease and call out to the other roaches for help. Within moments, every cockroach on the ground sprouts wings and flies straight at the ship, causing it to malfunction as one of its engines explodes. The roaches that get inside attack Ichiro, who quickly injects himself again to slip into his stasis state and survive. After a violent shaking descent, Bugs 2 crashes down near Bugs 1. The roaches swarm the trio, who transform once more to fight back. At first, the battle goes their way, but then the evolved roaches from the egg join in, striking far faster and harder than anything before. Mina is killed, finished off with her own torn-off arm. Jin injects himself with a second dose, growing even more bug-like, and Komachi does the same. With this boost, the fight finally becomes fair, and the 2 men start taking down roaches much faster. Jin then takes a third dose and grows a pair of wings, letting him battle roaches in mid-air and smash them straight into the side of the ship. Still, the roaches keep coming, and both men are running out of steam. Ignoring Komachi's warnings, Jin keeps taking more doses, even though it means he may never be able to turn back into a human again. He goes on to attack one of the evolved roaches, driving one of his legs into its stomach and then finishing it off with a kick to the head. But he is finally pushed past his limit, and he collapses to the ground, completely drained. Komachi rushes over to shield Jin's body, but another evolved roach grabs both of his stinger arms and snaps them, leaving his punches useless. Just as all hope seems lost, a glowing creature suddenly appears, flying toward them and scattering shimmering dust through the air. It is Nanao, transformed into a silkworm moth, with the power to ignite the powdery scales covering her wings and set off a massive dust explosion. Jin realizes at once that she means to sacrifice herself to save them. Komachi tries desperately to beg her not to do it, even growing wings of his own and flying toward her. Right then, a cockroach fires a shot that ignites the dust, setting off a massive explosion that wipes out the surviving roaches. Jin swoops in and saves Komachi just in time, but the blast costs Nanao her life once again. The explosion is strong enough to shake Bugs 1, knocking over a glass of water that splashes onto Ichiro's face and wakes him up. A roach looms behind him, ready to strike, but Ichiro remembers a promise he once made to his mother and kills the creature without hesitation to survive. Eventually, Jin can no longer stay in the air, and both men crash down to the ground. When Komachi comes to, he finds that Jin has fully turned into an insect, though he can still speak. Jin tells Komachi to leave for Earth without him and to survive, so that Nanao's sacrifice will not have been for nothing. Looking around, Komachi spots a few roaches that survived, including one of the evolved ones, though they are all badly weakened now. He raises his fist to finish off the evolved roach, then decides to let it go instead. He makes his way back into the ship and finds Ichiro still alive. Komachi calls him a traitor and moves to attack, but Ichiro pulls out a gun and shoots a roach that was about to kill Komachi from behind. With an uneasy truce between them, the 2 men find the escape pod and launch back toward Earth. The remaining cockroaches try to chase after them, but the evolved roach that Komachi spared holds the others back. Back on Earth, Honda discovers that Ichiro has hacked into his systems and broadcast the entire truth to the world. He is unbothered. He plans to simply disappear for a while, and then find another government willing to buy his idea. His assistant then reveals that she has actually been working for the Japanese government all along, and she pulls a gun and fires at him. A protective barrier stops the bullet cold, and Honda retaliates by hurling a mechanical spider at her, killing her instantly. Back on the spaceship, Ichiro vows to expose everyone connected to the mission, while Komachi says that he will build graves for their fallen crewmates and one day return to Mars.